be with you.
No, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So it's going to be a good day in Cape Town today.
Well, it's going to be overcast, it's going to be misty, but because it rained all night, I think it's likely to remain cool, but with very little rain today.
What about the wind?
The wind has been very calm today for a Cape Town day compared to the last couple of weeks. So I'm very optimistic that the weather will be perfect for a cool opening of Parliament.
Okay. Are you also optimistic about what the President might say?
Well, I'm usually optimistic about what he says. It's about what he does that I'm worried about. The ANC says that it supports the National Development Plan, which in the main is a good plan. But we've seen almost no action on that plan, and often the action undermines the plan. So what we need to do is see a complete focus on a commitment to implementation, the youth wage subsidy to get young people into work, opportunity vouchers to support them starting a business, to get people into the economy with a foothold, an absolute commitment to improve education and skills training, performance contracts for principals of schools, absolutely necessary. We would also very much like to see a focus on corruption and ensuring that we have proper transparency. The Nkandla Gate report must be made public. We must have an SIU head appointed.
Okay.
We must ensure the institutions of our constitution are protected.
So what do you expect the President not to say?
I don't expect him to say, I am going to challenge my alliance partners and I will implement the youth wage subsidy as it was originally envisaged. I don't expect him to say, I will release the Nkandla Gate report. All of those things are problems that undermine the very heart of the plan that the ANC says it supports.
Okay. Let's give Smarts Ngonyama an opportunity. Mhlekazi, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Vuyo.
All right. So today, as COPE, what do you expect the President to say?
Vuyo, it's quite a challenge, I must say, because the country is now reaching a crisis point with regard to unemployment, poverty, inequalities. And so we expect the President to be much more simple and much more practical. So much has been said in the past, and there's so much theory. But right now, there's nothing that shows. Last year, there was so much about dealing with unemployment, inequalities, and so on. But there was very little. There was a mobilization even of the country as a whole on the question of infrastructure. What has happened about infrastructure? We're seeing now deterioration of the current infrastructure that we have. So that's the challenge that we have.
Okay, let me ask you the same question. What do you expect the President not to say that is important for the country?
I don't expect the President to say, I am prepared to set up a parliamentary committee to investigate the Nkandla Gate. I don't expect the President to say that on the Marikana situation, we have blundered as a government, and therefore we are more than willing to subsidize education of all the kids and families that suffered in that situation.
Okay. So Helen, let us say you were president for a day and you had the opportunity to deliver a State of the Nation address. In terms of the critical issues that face our country, in 30 seconds, what would you say?
I would say education. We are going to ensure that the quality improves, set targets, test, teacher accountability, principal accountability, transform the system with time. It's not an overnight situation. I would certainly relax the restrictive labour laws, introduce a youth wage subsidy, and encourage investors to invest to create jobs.
Okay.
I would ensure transparency, respect the judiciary, and ensure that there was no corruption in government. And I would take immediate steps to ensure that the structures that we've got, many structures to protect women and children, actually work.
Okay. So, you were president for a day, Mhlekazi Ngonyama. What would you say in your State of the Nation address?
Unemployment, poverty, setting up a committee and with a clear budget for a limited period of time to be able to deliver and practically with regard to unemployment is what would actually occupy the priority with me.
But the President speaks about those things. He speaks a lot about unemployment. There's a target, even in the National Development Plan. I think it creates or envisages the creation of 11 million jobs by 2030. So these things are there.
2030 for you. You'll be gone, and many people that we have in the country will be gone by 2030. And it's completely unreasonable for us to expect that change will come in 2030. People are dying now. People are suffering. Kids are sleeping without food. And that's where the problem is. That's why I'm saying the president's statement must be practical. So much theory has been said in the past, no more theory now. Practice.
Okay. Same, you agree?
All plans take a while to implement. The point is to move in the right direction every day, to ensure that your deeds match your words, and that's what we're not seeing.
Okay.
If we can beat poverty in a generation, that would be absolutely wonderful, but then we have to implement every single day and move in the right direction, not say one thing and do another.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Thank you very much. So that's the view of the opposition parties. Helen Zille, leader of the DA, Smuts Ngonyama with COPE, talking about their expectations of what the president would say today, a little bit later on, and what they would say if they were given the opportunity and were president for a day. You may have some thoughts. Tweet Waratimbuli Vuyo at Leanne Manners. Let's return.